Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming to today's Hofstra Basketball Media Day. We're very excited about the upcoming seasons for both our men's and women's basketball programs, and today is the official kickoff of that. We'll have three speakers up here today: Vice President, Director of Athletics, Jeff Hathaway, Head Men's Basketball Coach, Joe Mihalich, and Head Women's Basketball Coach, Krista Kilburn-Steveskey. Following the end of these speeches, we'll have some time for one-on-ones with members of the media and anything else you might need. Feel free to grab me or anybody from my office for any interview requests, and we'll be happy to assist. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our Vice President, Director of Athletics, Jeff Hathaway.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the MAC Sports Complex. Great to see so many members of the media here with us today for the Hofstra Basketball Media Day. Special congrats to our friend Ak. Where's Jim at? Ak? There he is. Back in the back, AP's Jim O'Connell, better known as Ak, will be celebrated in November at the upcoming Joe Lapchek luncheon. So congratulations to you, Ak. Well deserved, and we appreciate all that you do for college basketball. I'm going to recognize one other person. You know, it's always dangerous when you do this, but this next person is kind of treading on some dangerous paths right now. The person that wrote the picture history of Hofstra athletics is Chris Vaccaro, sitting right here at the end, and he's getting married in 2 days. So, it just tells you where Hofstra ranks in his heart and in his mind. And Chris, we appreciate you being here. Good luck with your wedding, and thank you for the great job on the book. Special thanks to all of our fans that are listening on WRHU, our outstanding student radio station, and to the viewers that are following along today on our web stream on GoHofstra.com. It's always great to see Pride Club members at any event, and certainly our Pride Club is out today in force, and we thank you all for coming today. Our fall sports have been off and running. It has been another great fall for us so far. And today's another great time of the year because we get our winter sports underway, practicing and playing. It's always, always good if you're a basketball junkie to hear the balls bouncing. I'm very excited about both of our basketball teams and about the progress they made during the off season. I'm going to touch on 4 points today. I'm going to start off with Coach Kilburn. Krista, as we all know, is the consummate team player in the department. She continues to recruit at a very high level. Her students excel in the classroom and they graduate. She's had numerous pros come out of the program, including most recently one of my fan favorites, Candace Bond, an Olympian, and Liz Murphy representing Canada. And Krista recruited and developed our all-time leading scorer and rebounder, our recent graduate, retired Jersey, Shantae Evans. This past season, Krista had an assistant coach become the head coach at Sacred Heart. And we had another coach leave us for another university. Krista did a great job in recruiting 2 outstanding assistant coaches to join our already outstanding staff. And they're with us here today, Adia Ravel and Denise King. You can stand up. And my closing comment on Krista would be a very important one regarding the future of our women's basketball program. I am very excited today to announce that Krista has signed a multi-year contract so that we can work together to achieve our goals of a CAA championship and an NCAA tournament bid. Congratulations, Krista. You know, my second topic is also near and dear to me, just as Krista is, and I can't say enough about the job that Joe Mihalich and his staff has done in such a short period of time. Along with them today is his outstanding staff. Colin, Mike is here, and then Shane is on the road recruiting, trying to find some more horses, and Coach Speedy Claxton is out on the road recruiting today as well, trying to find another Speedy Claxton, which would be very good. Beside our outstanding staff and our outstanding support staff, Joe has really done a great job leading this transition from last April to where we are today. I have a strong, strong admiration for his commitment to the academic success of our student athletes. This off-season, though, is only the first step in a process of bringing this program back to where we want it to be. As you know, Joe is the right person to do this. Multiple NCAA tournament bids, multiple NIT tournament bids, multiple Coach of the Year awards, and most recently, to judge the character of the man, he was awarded the Skip Prosser Man of the Year last April. He is well established and tremendously respected in the basketball world, which is one of the primary reasons that drew me to him last April. In addition to his respect in the basketball world, he's held in high regard by his former student athletes. He's a great recruiter. He's a tremendous developer of student athletes and players. And as I said last year, all through the search process, and I said in the announcement when we hired Joe, I was looking for a steady rudder, a person with a plan to get us back on track, and a person who's been there and was not going to get rattled inheriting a roster of 4 scholarship players. And he hasn't been rattled. He's put that roster together, and he's going to tell us about it when he gets up to speak. But I do want to recognize those 4 scholarship players. They're not here with us today. They're in class. But I have to tell you, those 4 guys could have bailed. They could have gone somewhere else. They could have left Hofstra. But they made up their minds they were going to stay, and they were going to be part of the solution and part of getting Hofstra men's basketball where we all want it to be. So I'm deeply indebted to those 4 guys. I wish they were here so I could tell them, but I hope you all tell them the same thing so they know that our fans and the media feels the same. Over the course of the next few months, we're going to develop a new floor design for the basketball court in the Max Sports Complex, which will be put in place for next season. We want to engage our fan base and the passionate Pride followers to submit their own designs as we launch this promotion. So in the next 2 weeks, we'll release the particulars of the basketball court design contest. So get out your markers, turn on your computer graphics, break open that box of crayons, and get working on your own design to send in when the promotion's announced later this month. And then, as important as our coaches are, because they bring our student athletes here, once we get them here from a basketball perspective, we need to develop them. They come here, they stay 4 years, they play their entire career right here in this building. So the most vital thing that we thought after the priority of academics is how do we win games and achieve consistent success on the basketball court. And developing players, as I said, is a very key element of that. This winter, we'll begin construction on a dedicated practice facility for our men's and women's basketball teams. It will be located on the far end of the PFC. It will have 8 baskets, a full court, and 2 half courts. It will have the scoreboards, the video equipment. It will have all the branding of Hofstra basketball, the retired jerseys, NCAA banners, all that type stuff. This will obviously help in the recruiting process and certainly will be the centerpiece for the development of our team's basketball skills. When we have a finished design and construction schedule, we'll share it with the media and all of our fans. Bottom line, this practice facility is a monumental development in the enhancement of our basketball programs. And I think it shows the renewed and enhanced commitment that we have for our men's and women's basketball program as we achieve our goals in this sport and in the CAA. I want to particularly thank President Stuart Rabinowitz for his support on this project, the basketball practice facility, and his overall support of all of our athletic programs. The support of our entire university administration is unparalleled to anywhere I've ever been in the past. So to all of our fans, our students, our faculty, our alumni, and our Pride Club members, thank you very much for your support, and we appreciate you being with us today.
Thank you, Jeff. A lot of great news there. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our new men's basketball coach, Joe Mihalich.
Thanks, Stephen. And thanks to everybody for being here. It is a great opportunity to talk about Hofstra basketball, but it's also an opportunity to talk about Hofstra in general and what a great place it is. Believe me, I'm pinching myself every day to be here. I knew, in my world, these jobs, my wife always says, oh, here comes March. Here comes those 3 weeks. Somebody's getting fired, somebody's getting hired. And so in my world, we were talking earlier, right? In my world, it's the coaches saying, hey, is that a good job? Is that a good job? And, when you're young, you think about, where it is and the weather and color of the uniforms and, all those kinds of things. But, as you get older, the answer to the question is, well, who's the AD and who's the president? And then you can determine whether or not it's a good job. So, is Hofstra a good job? Hofstra's a great job because we have great leadership. President Wilbernowitz, Jeff Hathaway, these guys are great leaders. And they give us all a chance to win. Every president in the country, every AD in the country wants to win. They all want to win. They all want to win. Who helps you win? Who helps you win? Who's there for your coaches? Who's there to help you, support you? Whatever it might be. Whether it's monetarily, whether it's a pep talk up in the office. I've got a bunch of those already, right? But who helps you win? Who helps you win? So, what's a good job? Who's the president? Who's the AD? And it couldn't be better than here. So, and I knew that. And I knew the basketball could be great. I knew that. This could be a special place. I always told people would always ask me at Niagara, hey, would you ever leave there? The recruits would say, hey, coach, you ever going to leave? And I would say, well, you know what? It would have to be pretty special. And special is right here. Special is right here. So, and I knew the basketball stuff was great. I'm almost embarrassed to say this. I didn't realize what an unbelievable school it was, what a great academic institution it was. And then as I met people, that's the best part, all the people that make up this university, whether it's you meet this person here, that person there. And by the way, a special sector of those people. I'd like to thank some of the coaches for coming by today too. And I mean this is from the heart. I'm glad to say I'm one of you guys. I'm glad to say I'm like the soccer coach and like the lacrosse coach and like the, I don't want to forget anybody. But I'm proud to be one of you guys because you guys, are great coaches. But you know what? You do all the right things too. So, when my kids say, hey, are you like those guys? I can say, yeah, I'm one of the coaches at Hofstra. That makes me feel good. So thanks for being here and thanks for all you guys do for Hofstra too. So, but it's a terrific place. And so, as I said, it's a great opportunity to talk about Hofstra and Hofstra basketball. And I guess what I got to do more than anything is talk about Hofstra basketball. So I said to the guys yesterday at practice, at the end of practice, we do a segment on situations. And, I said to them all yesterday, you guys remember me saying it. So, by the way, I just watched the tape. It was the worst horror tape I ever saw in my life. So you'll be watching that, trust me. So if I have to suffer, you have to suffer too. But at the end of practice, we do these situations, and I say to these guys, okay, here's your chance to make a winning play. It's all about having a chance. Here's your chance to make a winning play. There's a minute and 15 to go on the clock, and you're down one, and it's a sideline out of bounds. That's what we were doing yesterday, right? So there's 10 guys out. Didn't I say it to you? There's 10 guys out there. What are you going to do to make your team win? Are you going to get a rebound, take a charge, make a shot? What are you going to do to make? You have a chance to make a winning play. And so that's what basketball coaches want. That's what basketball players want. They want to have a chance. They want to have a chance to do something special. And you can do that here. You can do that here. And that's what our guys are doing. And, Jeff mentioned the makeup of our team, and it's an interesting makeup. And it has worked. And I don't want to be redundant, but you can't say enough about the 4 guys that were here last year. You can't. If there's anything worth repeating, it's that. It's that. Those guys here. They were like bedrock. As I said earlier, we talked a lot. The good news and the bad news when I got here was that there was only 4 players. The good news is, well, you know what? You can go out and get your guys. You can go out and get the guys that play the way you want to play. You can get a Zeke Upshaw. You can get a Deion Nesmith. You can get the guys that you like the way you like to play, the style you like to play. But the bad news is you only have 4 guys. But those 4 guys were terrific. Good people, good guys, hard workers. As Jeff said, they bought in. They want to win. And so, it all started with them. And forever, I'll be indebted to those 4 guys for holding down the fort. It's April 10th. Jeff used 2 good words. He talked about progress. He talked about process. And there's been a lot of progress. There's been a lot of progress. You start with 4 guys on April 10th. In 6 months, we have 8 new guys, a whole new team. So it's a new time. It's a new team. There's a lot of progress, but it's a process to get this program to where it needs to be. and that takes time. What I love about this place is that it would have been very easy for the president and the AD to say, just go get some guys. Just go get, don't worry about anything, just go get some guys. And you could do the quick fix thing, but it's a short-term solution and long-term problems probably. I mean, their battle cry was, let's do it the right way. Get good guys, brick by brick, brick by brick. Let's get good guys, let's get good people. And so it started with those 4 guys, and then it started to trickle into where we have the 4 guys that were here last year. We have 3 freshmen. The 4 guys last year: Jordan Allen, Musa Kane, Steve Waconi, Darren Payne. And then we have 3 freshmen: Eliel Gonzalez, Jamal Robinson, Chris Jenkins. Then we have 3 transfers. Brian Bernardi transferred from SMU. Wanye Green and Amin Tanksley transferred from Niagara. But we have 2 guys that are here, and I'm not just talking about them, but they're here, but they've been terrific. We have 2 guys who graduated at their former institutions and are here getting their masters. They're here getting their masters, which is pretty impressive in itself. But they've brought maturity, they've brought leadership, they've brought that know how to do it, whether it's a practice in the locker room, on the floor, they brought that with them. And that's Zeke Upshaw and Dion Nesmith, and just terrific guys. One of you played good yesterday, one didn't. I'll tell you later on which one it was. So that tape. The eye in the sky doesn't lie. Right, Dion? The eye in the sky doesn't lie. But so it's been an interesting makeup. And I'll tell you what, it's been fun every day to be with these guys. Watching that tape wasn't fun. Yesterday's practice wasn't good. But it's fun to be with these guys. They work hard. They want to be good. Most of the time the effort's pretty good. But it's been fun to be with these guys. And, it's going to be an interesting year because, it's such a work in progress. We change every day. I was asked earlier, what are you going to do? Who's going to play? And I said, changes every day. We're still trying to, it sounds a little bit like a coaching cliche, but we don't know who we are yet. We're just trying to figure it out. Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? Who starts? Who comes off the bench? Who's going to score? Who's going to rebound? It's all, it's all happening right before us, and we're in the middle of this book. We haven't written it yet, so we're working through it. But those little 4 groups have come together so nicely, and it's as I said, it's been a pleasure to be with them and work with them every day, and try to help this team get better. So I just as I said, I'm just tickled to death to be here. I'm a big John Wooden fan, and he has that, I think we all know, that pyramid of success, and the cornerstones of your pyramid of success are enthusiasm and hard work, and it's just I think for the most part our guys are living that, not just talking about it, they're living it with their enthusiasm every day, with their work ethic most days. Yesterday's in my mouth, it's just got that bad taste in my mouth, I can't forget it. But the enthusiasm, the hard work, I think it's there, and then we guys got to keep building and bringing all these things together. So, again, I want to thank you all for being here. I mean, we're not going to do questions. We're doing them later, right? Okay. We got to wait. Coach, congratulations on the contract extension. I think another round of applause for Coach. I got to say, and I'm not saying it because it's been a pleasure to work with that women's staff too. I mean, it's tight quarters up there, so they've been good to work with, and you don't mind me coming in there and interrupting your meetings and bothering you, so I appreciate that, okay? All right. So thanks to everybody, and look forward to seeing you this year. Go Pride.
Thank you, Joe. It's now my pleasure to introduce Krista Kilburn-Steveskey, our head women's basketball coach, now entering her 8th season here at Hofstra University.
8? Joe was taking part of my speech away now. I do want to start with that about working with this men's staff, because people won't say very much when they don't have good things to say, and I've been talking profusely to have someone that obviously you respect, balancing ideas, stay to practice of the day to look at some of their zone stuff. So it's been a pleasure, and I enjoyed watching the guys practice and really getting to know all the men of Hofstra men's basketball, so it's nice. So just want to kind of tap off that here real quick. But it is great. It's great to be here today to have the opportunity to talk about the 2013-14 Hofstra women's basketball program. I'm always so thankful for Hofstra President Stuart Rabinowitz and obviously Vice President, Director of Athletics Jeff Hathaway, but especially grateful today with the extension of the multi-year contract. So that gives you a lot of confidence to build and continue to grow. Because that building, that brick by brick statement is something that a lot of folks don't realize how hard it is to build a program. I know Bill Edwards sitting here today with 46 years. I think he knows what it means to build a program. And all the other coaches that are here today and all the staff, everything that you do, your leadership, we just appreciate it so much because it takes a long to build. To build things right, it takes time. So that was a very well said by Coach Mihalich. But, just very thankful for all that you guys have done to provide the opportunity for us to be successful here. So this season embodies a little bit of change. And that's what's so fun about coaching is that it's always change. You have new year, new players, a new mix. And it's what keeps it fresh every year. You have your practice books, but you try to make change every year. Well, now we do have change because we have the era of Shante Evans, who's three-time All-American, and then CAA Defensive Player of the Year, Candace Bond, both graduated and going on. And then now we have a mix of 4 freshmen, several 6 sophomores, the transfer of Jaquel King-Gilchrist from Florida State, and then some veteran players, obviously a standout junior point guard, Andriana Thomas, and then 2 seniors, Annie Payton and Anma Anyuku, who's here today. A lot of you guys call her AO, and I just see some of my squad that just came in the back. We've got freshman Krista Luciano, Mackenzie Kudron right here, Elo Edifaroki, freshman, and then another freshman, Kelly Loftus, standing in the back here. Glad you guys could make it from class. That's awesome. So we have a nice new change and new blending of a different era, and that's what makes coaching fun. Lot of teaching, lot more intenseness on the floor, and a lot of enthusiasm. Because we all keep saying it's going to give you a +8. Enthusiasm gives you +8. So we have been working very hard. Annie Payton's coming off of one of her best years, played in 31 games, averaged about 8.5 points per game, one of the seniors. And Andriana Thomas led 10th in the nation in Division I for assists, 6.6, and she was number 1 in the conference. And obviously she's vying to be one of the best point guards in our conference. And if you watch her practice every day and you watch freshmen going against her every day, that's what I told Chris the other day, don't get down. She's got 3 years on you, a lot of lifting with Allison, strength coach, a lot of strength in it, and it's tough. That's what people don't understand, the strength, the size, and the quickness when you're becoming a freshman, and then you're playing somebody that's a junior. So we have to stand out with Andriana. And then we have Anma Anyuku, who's here today. Everybody calls her AO. So not only has she had her best career season last year, she was 51% shooting from the field, led the conference. Obviously, she needs to shoot. Obviously, she needs the ball. So very talented, very versatile player. She averaged 9.6 points per game, 5.6 rebounds per game. But her best asset this year and her biggest job is blending the newbies with everybody. And that's what her goal is, and she can do that with flying colors. And she has the type of personality. Those that have had a chance to meet her across campus, you know what I'm talking about. Just great character and just an outstanding young lady. Then rounding out those veteran players, we have that slew of sophomores. What's the best thing about sophomores? Best about freshmen, they come sophomores. That's the best thing about this sophomore group is that they're no longer freshmen. And we are really vying for them to give us a lot of help. So we have Alexis Carter, Asia Jackson, played pretty good minutes last year, Ruth Sherrill, Deanna Thomas-Palmer, and Sid. So these guys are going to have to give us some big minutes and really be part of our success this year with that bit of youth. So not only to mention those guys, to talk about change, one thing that I don't want to change is what our commitment is to get to the CAA championship and entrench ourselves as being top of the league and to be one of the best programs in our conference. And I think that is what I'm hearing when I hear the administration talk from all the coaches is how can that now is the time for us to be the best program in this conference. Why not? Absolutely, why not? And so that's something we're talking about every single day. And we have a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, and we need to, prepare for this. And we're preparing for it with another very tough non-conference slate. If you guys take a look at our non-conference games the last few years, they've been a little tough. So we start off again with the same thing this year, Robert Morris. Then we actually come back, have a 2-game home swing with Boston College and then Fordham. Then we go to Northwestern, who's a very tough team, in Chicago. And then we finish that swing playing Virginia Tech on a Saturday night here at 7 p.m. on the 23rd. So we definitely are going to need some people in the stands and to get some W's out of that week. That's a good start. That's coming out of the gate swinging. So we've got some work to do there, and that's going to really tell us a lot about ourselves, and that's why you do these things. You do these things so you can be exposed early, and then we go back to the drawing board and keep working to get better. And so then we take on to the conference slate. You know, guys, we have some new leagues, new teams in our league. Conference, College of Charleston's in our league. Then we all, on the women's side, have a slew of new coaches. So it's building upon to making our conference one of the strongest conference in the league. And for the women's side especially, and the men, working toward vying for multiple berths. Because that's what we need, and that's how our conference needs to continue to be strong. We need multiple NCAA berths out of our conference. And so rounding out a little bit, we can't become the best. We can't be the best program without having the best coaching staff. You know, assistant to the head coach, Mike Gibson, that's pretty much what we call him around here, beginning his 6th year. So you guys know what a dynamic person Mike is. The 2nd year of his 2nd stint, so we went 4 years with Coach Kahn. That's how we're pretty much going to have to word that one. So these two gentlemen are the foundation of our success in our program. That really, you know, get and understand what we try to do. And then we added 2 new folks that Jeff Hathaway mentioned, but I have to talk about Denise King from Mount St. Mary's and Adia Ravel. Adia was a head coach at ASA in Brooklyn, and Denise was at the Mountain Plate of Rhode Island. But what's so great about these 2 guys is they work hard. Yeah, they do all these things here, but they really get what embodies developing players and obviously developing women toward the society. That's the part that I enjoy, that I don't have to be the eyes and ears, the voice. They get that part. And that is important, that everybody is like, you know, saying the same things and trying to develop these people on and off the court. So I'm very proud about my staff, what they bring to the table, and make my job a lot easier. And then we also have a lot of past alumni. You talked about Liz Ann Murphy. You know, she embodies what the student-athlete experience is here at Hofstra. You know, those that had contact with her, I know there's a lot of faces that remember every bit of facility work she did. She was a biology major. She excelled in the classroom as well as on the court. She went to the Olympics. And then she also just won a silver medal in the FIBA Americas this past month. She embodies what it means to be a student athlete. And that's what I think the administration has done here so much, is like how important the student athlete experience is. And I think that's what Jeff brings to the table so well. You know, he just brings new ideas. He actually asks our coaches what our opinion is about things, which I think is fantastic. And he just wants to be great. And if you have that from the top down, we all follow, and we'll have a dynamic program for all sports here at Hofstra, if this is how your leader leads everyone. So I can't thank enough about everyone and all the help they've done. I have 5 other players that play overseas. Lizanne is playing in France. Shantae, obviously 2,000-point scorer here, leading rebounder and scorer in CA history, she's playing in Bulgaria. Candace Bond is in Candace Bond's in Ireland. And then I have other players that are playing in different places. Marie Malone, Jess Fuller, Vanessa Gidden. So it's nice. I mean, all of a sudden one day, at one point we had 8 players playing overseas last season. So it's really a way these players are making a career and making some money, and then they can grow up at another point in time, right? That's what I tell them. You got plenty of time to be married and get on to that. You just go out and play and have fun. Take it as long as your body will let you, and make some money. So I can't thank everybody enough. WRHU is here today. They are just dynamic, not only for women's basketball, for all of us. All of us as coaches here, we can't thank them enough. Always there, always writing great articles, the Chronicle. And so, just once again, the vision of our leadership from top to bottom of our entire university is what is making me very excited as my tenure continues. I think the change is in the air, not only for women's basketball, obviously, but for the entire programs here at Hofstra, because if you have someone that believes so strongly that way and knows how to get it done. I mean, you guys know Coach Hathaway's background with sports at Connecticut. He knows what it means to be a winner and been around people like that. So I'm very excited about that, and just look forward to another great year. So thank you very much, everyone. If I missed anybody, again, just appreciate everything, and thank you.
Thank you, Jeff, Joe, and Krista, and thank you all for coming. At this time, we'll break up for one-on-ones. If any members of the media have anybody they need for an interview, please see myself, Len Skoros, Jim Sheen, or Brian Bowl. We're all happy to assist. Just grab one of us, and we'll set you up somewhere. And if you need anything else, let us know. Thank you very much. Go Pride.